Good evening. Welcome to another live stream. And Khan wants me to check out ADA BTC first thing right off. Awesome. Good to have you guys here. Hello, hello, hello. If you haven't already, click the like button. If you're back here for another stream, you must like it. Give it some love. Give that like button a hit, and it'll help getting the word out to more people about this crypto bull market watch. Brought to you by IntroToCryptos.ca. Now, if you haven't got the free chapter from the book, The Simple Trading Plan, go and subscribe on the website IntroToCryptos.ca, and you'll get this as part of your subscription. Hello, Yosef. Good to have you here as well. Today, Bitcoin did a little crack down, and it may not be little. Hello. Can you guys hear me? I don't see my sound working. And why not? Okay, I don't see the audio noise bar working over there. All right. How's that now? A little bit better? Awesome, very good. I'm not sure why the audio indicator isn't showing up over there, but I'll just continue on. So what we're looking at here is the price of Bitcoin. And we had a dip today, and like I was saying, it may not be a small dip. I don't like this chart pattern at all, where prices have dropped below this really important support and resistance all the way along. So if I zoom back out, we can see that all the way along here, this is a very important support and resistance line. And when I zoom back into the 1 month view, so we're looking at the 4-hour bars, you can see how the prices dropped down yesterday, and they bounced up, and then they're dropping down again today. It's not guaranteed terminal, but it's certainly not looking good. I don't like it. And so with this dip, there's also a dip. Here's Bitcoin. There's a dip in Ethereum prices. There's a dip in Litecoin prices, much the same. And we have BitShares over here, which didn't dip quite the same. I'm just watching it. And I love using these multi-coin charts so that I can keep track of everything. There's a MadeSafe coin that I'm watching on coinsignals.trade, another really good charting system. And this is the book that you can get if you go and subscribe on the website. Now I'm going to go over and take a look at ADA first of all, because my short-term memory won't keep it. ADA, 3-month view, zoom out. This is looking nice. This is really building up into a nice chart pattern. And I like to see the volume building up in this way here. So there's good volume as it's going up, then less volume as it's going down. That's pretty good. And let's pull up the RSI indicator. I would say that there is a little bit of a divergence from this to here, where we've got a lower. So that's a few different things looking pretty good for this chart pattern. Not only are we in a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and showing pressure towards the upside, we've got this RSI divergence, we've got volume on our side, and the moving averages have come to touch each other, so that's getting really good. Hey AOL Chandra, good to have you here. I love it. We got more people coming and watching now, more people waiting for the thing to start. So I think the word is getting out, and the regular publication is getting a few people to come and watch regularly. So I hope this has been really helpful for you. Don't see the coin name on top. Let me get it in view. How's that? And So there we are, ADA, looking like a very good price chart. And one thing that I'm doing in another study that I'll talk about later is I'm going over the top coins on Binance that are worth 50 cents and less. And I thought, oh, I'll just whip up this report. And there's 82 of them. So there's a lot of study and preparation to do before I can actually put out a report that's really good. And one thing that I'm doing is taking a look at how high the item was before, the coin or the token, compared to where it is now, and giving a percentage gain on that. So if we're going from 1100 Satoshi up to 8,000 Satoshi, you know, figure out how much percentage gain that is. And the coins that show that potential for the most gains are the ones that I'm starting to favor more. And I'll bring out that report when I can. I probably have another 8 hours of pretty tedious work to do to get that ready. And just before I go into the bull market watch and the additional data that I put together for the bull market watch today, I just wanted to comment on this Bitcoin price level. As prices were coming down there, I'm also watching the significant trades indicator that we see along the side right here, where we've got BitMEX, OKX, and lots of BitMEX, large trades. Anything over $100,000 will show up here, long or short. And when the market starts to move, and it didn't move that much, let's say 63 down to 62.60, 63, okay, so it went down about $100 and then bounced up a little bit. And in that range, again, we're seeing people getting liquidated. $1.8 million position liquidated. 192,000, 294,000, a million, 500,000. And this one's got a 973,000, 3 million, $3.4 million positions being liquidated. And it's obvious that having more money doesn't make you a better trader. Having more money doesn't make you sit down and take the time to drill for skill and do the work necessary to make this trading profitable. And so what we've been doing here is called the simple trading plan, but it is not simple. It takes a lot of persistence, it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of dedication, especially when we're in this kind of chart formation timing. If I just go over to Factum, zoom out the 3-month view, zoom back a little bit. All the way along here since August, September, October, now into November, we're watching and watching and watching and watching and analyzing and paying attention so that we're there at the right time. And not only that, we're also watching to be sure that we're not going to be hit by a fake out breakout. So we're trying to protect ourselves in our trades. So there we have some trades that were good, they were green, they said to buy in, and then they turned into a cold fish. They said to get out because the moving averages crossed over. And so we're trying to not only get the right time in there, but we're also trying to make sure that we're not in at the wrong time. So we're watching all these that are near fails, the ones that are buy signals, the ones that are get out signals. And we've been going through this and making up this chart here so that we can see when the tide is turning. When is all of these things turning into alerts or into buy signals? And by having this extra insight, we're going to know when to put the pedal to the metal and really make some money. If you guys are on my email list, you know I sent out a couple email last night and this morning talking about Ripple and Stellar. And that with the new information I've learned just the last couple days and what they actually represent for the world's banking system, I think that they are probably going to be an opportunity for us right now as big as Bitcoin was back in January of 2011. And you know that in January 2011, you could have bought Bitcoin for about 25 cents each. It wasn't quite, but it's just easy math. And so with $10, you could buy 40 Bitcoin. With $100, you could have bought 400 Bitcoin back then. And I know that if somebody told me about what Bitcoin was and what it was going to do, there's no way I would have took $100 and bought 400 Bitcoin and put them aside. I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have. And now that's worth $2.5 million. And I think the same thing is going to be happening with Stellar and with Ripple where they're going to go 10 times in value, then 10 times more in value, and 10 times more after that. So Ripple is 50 cents a coin right now. That means it's going to go to $5, then it's going to go to $50, then it's going to go to $500 per coin over the next 3 to 5 years, maybe 7 years. And so $100 would turn into $100,000 if that was to happen. And the same thing, I believe, with Stellar. It's got the potential to go from 27 cents per coin right now to $270 to $27 to $270. And that would turn $100 into $100,000. So it's this study, when you start going through what the math is and what the potential is for profit in the cryptocurrencies, you just got to do the work. You just got to do the work. So before I go through the rest of these charts, we can see all these green, blue, red, orange, and the green and blue are where we had a buy signal and a get out signal. So if we look at, let's take a look at Dash. Go over here, bring up ABCD, bring up Dash. We had a buy signal, and you know, it wasn't even a good buy signal when we look back at it. It was a 1, 2, 3 bot, a kind of a 3, 2, 1 bottom, and I said it was a buy signal and played it as it was, and then the moving averages crossed over, so it turned into a cold fish and we had to get out. But what would have been the profit on that? How much, if we had bought in and sold out on that, what would have been the profit? And the same thing with Ardor. When I first started this out, this wasn't a very good bottom formation, but we took this as a buy signal, and then we took this as a sell signal. You know, so what is the entry point, what is the exit point, and what would have been the profit on that? What would have been the loss maybe on this? And all the way through our sheet, we have all these entries and exits, entries and exits. And so for the last couple days, I've been putting together a new study sheet that documents everything that we're doing for our profits and losses. So I've put that together in a sheet that's not yet available for you guys. And what I've done is entered all that data. So here on September the 24th, Ardor was a buy. Our entry price I put in as the highest price on September 24th. And then the exit date was on October 26th, and I put in the lowest price. So I tried to make it skewed in the worst case scenario against us. And I went through and I did all of these, and you can see the red ones turned out to be a loss. The green ones turned out to be a profit. So some of them are still open trades, and we have an unrealized profit of 41% in BAT. We have an unrealized profit of 12.9% in BCH. And we have an unrealized profit of 12% in Gollum Network Token, but decreed is actually an unrealized loss of 2.7%. So I went through all of these. Here's a 16% unrealized profit, minus 15% on Quantum, minus 5% on Rep. And I put together all this data. How many open wins do we have? How many open losers do we have? How many total wins of closed trades and how many total losses do we have? And I drew that forward into the front sheet so then we can see the number of wins, the number of losses, the number of open wins, the number of open losses. And for the closed trades, we have a 5%, 6% win ratio. Not very good. But of course, we're not in the bull market yet. We're just going along sideways and trying to protect ourselves. And then of the open trades, and the total trades, we have 30% winners of all of them put together, the open ones and the closed ones. So at 30%, that's still not very good. Then we have the profit and loss. After going through all the data, we are pretty much flat, even. And what I did is I imagined that we're pretending to start off with 1 Bitcoin. So now we're practicing our entry level, our entry rules, and our exit rules. And I'm also starting to practice the position sizes. So in this, I said that we're only going to put in 2% of our total into any one trade. And 2% of 1 Bitcoin is 0.02 Bitcoin. But I also said that we're going to be looking for the trend, and we're going to put on a part of our trade at the beginning, and then add on to another part of our trade. And if we can, we'll add on the third allocation. And over the months coming up, we'll go through all of this stuff with persistence and hard work and dedication, because of the millions of dollars that could be as a result of just putting $100 into this properly. So this spreadsheet lets us be able to change things around, and then we'll see what happens to our profit and loss in dollars. So let's say I could do 10% of my whole equity into all these trades. Now I'd be up to $16 profit. What if I said I'm just going to go all in right off the start at the beginning of a trade? I'd be up to $32 in profit by changing these numbers. And so we can change our data as time goes along and figure out which would have been better. Where is the cutoff point that would have made us the most amount of money? Another thing that I'm doing in the spreadsheet, and it's not complete yet, is I'm studying two different exit criteria. We know our entry criteria, and the entry criteria are simple. Oh, by the way, I'm not a registered financial advisor. This is not trading recommendations. The simple trading plan, as we're going through this hypothetical situation, is we have 3 rules: break of the downtrend line, breach of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and the cross of the 60-20 exponential moving average on the 12-hour bars. But we've also been doing the exit, much the same thing, where it is a break of the 1, 2, 3 top formation and a cross of the exponential moving averages using the 12-hour bars. So this is where we're coming up with our cold fish. When it turns blue, the 12-hour bar moving averages are crossing over. And so I'm doing that study and all of the dates, all of the exit prices. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to pretend that we got out on the 4-hour exponential moving average crossover. So I zoom in on the closer time frame and then see what the profit and loss change would be. So then we can determine, is it better to get out on the 12-hour crossover or get out on the 4-hour crossover? And that'll be different when we're starting to get into the add-on trade and the third level add-on trade as well, to be sure that we're adding on at the right time and we're not turning our whole trade into a loser by adding on at the wrong time. So I'm really excited about this spreadsheet. I'm really excited about it because it's going to quantify all of the proof of this trading method. And I know it works. This is what I've done, and I've worked this in the last couple of bull markets, and it worked great for me. But I want to have the data. The more data we have, the more it's going to help you when you're at that uncertain moment and you're really doubting what is going on in the market and you're second guessing yourself. You need to have this belief strong enough in your mind that you have the discipline to follow it. And of course, discipline means that you are a disciple of a belief system. It doesn't mean that you're going to grit your teeth and you're going to force your way through it. It's not going to be a power of your will, or using your willpower to make yourself get into it. And it's not that at all. Discipline is a disciple of a belief system. And so once you have that belief system, you cannot act opposite to it. But you only develop a belief by thinking a thought over and over and over, and really thinking about it in all sorts of different ways, all approaches. So we have a really fortunate study here to go through all of the coins on Poloniex and just go through them over and over and over, talking it through. And by doing that, we are repeating the same strategy over and over. We're watching it throughout time, from the bottom formation all the way in the middle of the uptrend right to the top of the uptrend. So then we will be watching it as prices are coming up. And we got a couple examples of that coming up, so I don't need to go into the history of this one. There's some real examples coming up right now. Ardor, after all that talk, is neutral. Nothing going on there. It's not near the get out loss point or fail point. It's not up near a buy signal yet. So it's just watch and see. I do want to observe, though, we have 2 bottoms here, and the relative strength index is diverging. This would give me a warmer feeling that there may be some momentum upward right after this. And I'll continue to observe this as we go through different charts. Next one I want to look at is basic attention token. And there was an article posted, and I don't have it handy. Too bad. But the article was something to the effect of, why did Basic Attention Token lose so much of its value after it was listed on? And we can see here on Basic Attention Token, we had our buy signal right here. And it was a very good buy signal. Nice and clean. The market took off. It didn't come back to retest our entry point. It was just smooth. It was really great. Came back a little bit. Actually, I had a popcorn sell order that was executed here. I put my trade on and had these sell orders way up above already, and one of them got hit. Price came back down, and I took that money and I put it into mana, which has turned out to be great. Then prices went up, and they went to this crazy high where the fear of missing out is gripping everybody. They think, oh my God, it's going to go to the moon, and they're buying in with that FOMO. Now people are selling out with FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So you can see where FOMO and FUD kill the normal small trader. And I did a video a while ago talking about the bull market is here, but it's like a bull ride. A lot of people are going to get themselves killed on the way up. And if they would have just done nothing, they would have made a lot more money. So for our trading plan, the moving averages haven't crossed over yet. There's nothing to do. There was no action to take. Anything at all here. Once we got in here, now it's time to sit back and just watch the markets. So if we zoom in on this a little bit now, zoom in a little bit more, let me clear up those marks, and I'll squish down the RSI. Let me pull up the indicator I'm looking for is the Fibonacci retracement. From the entry point to that high, down to usually the 50% level is where I'm looking for, but certainly areas of past support and resistance become really key areas. So we have this sort of range right in here that if the prices make a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation now that they've come back down to these levels, and they make a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, this will be our add-on signal. Then we will implement the second part of the trade, which would be to put on an imaginary 30% of the trade, which would be 0.006, just a little bit, right? We're just putting on little bits on this trade because we only have one Bitcoin and we're breaking it up only 2% per market. We're breaking that up, so we're putting on half of that, and then we're adding on to it when the market is in the correct phase. And it takes a long time for that to actually come into fruition for us. We might have been able to add on here. It would have been quite okay to do it. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and add on there. But then we would have to tighten up and be ready with our stop loss. We can see even the 4-hour moving average crossover would leave us vulnerable. So if we had added on there, we would have been seeing this great profit, and then all that profit would have been eaten back. So adding on correctly is always a trick. And there's different strategies for your stop losses, but for the simple trading plan, we're looking for catching the whole trend. We want to stay in. We want to give the market room to move. And the higher it goes, the more we leave our stop loss behind so that it has the room to do its thing and we stay in the market. So this is one thing that I wanted to talk about in how some traders get killed in this bull market. The prices are going up and they're losing money. Gandhi, good to have you there. Kieran, hello. Thanks for stopping in. We got 17 people watching now and only 4 thumbs up. So if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Give me the feedback. But if you're here and you like it and you're learning something, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. That's the only fee I'm charging. So Basic Attention Token remains a buy. After all that, there's nothing to do but just keep your eye on it and keep watching it. So we bought in here and we're just holding right now. We're waiting because this is probably going to be going for a much longer period of time, I believe. And Gandhi asked about XLM. It's definitely one of the coins on the list XLM. That's STR in Poloniex language. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't this the formation we were watching? And it's broken out above that, and now broken, it's making candles up around these levels, but initially my prediction was that this was going to be hitting about 9,000 Satoshi. From the 3,000 that it was, we were at 3,500 or thereabouts, and I thought this triangle wedge is so big that if you stood this up vertical, it would be reaching up to about 9,000 Satoshi. And I think we're going to get there, but I think it's going to be going considerably higher over the next 3 to 5 years. This is a really exciting key time to be investing and holding. And for those of you that can, it's a really good idea to take whatever you're holding and put it out for lending on a stratified lending strategy over on Poloniex and leave it so that you're not spending any time working with it. Just leave it there. And you will gain interest as the time goes along, because people will be going long, going short, going long, going short, and you just leave it there. Really, it's super, super exciting chart. And it was a buy signal earlier. What is the full name of STR? Lumens. Isn't that weird? STR XLM, and they call it Lumens. And the more you read up about that, the better. I sent out a video in the email the last couple days with a guy's presentation talking about the, I can't remember the name of it, but he's talking about Ripple. But Stellar is based on the same technology as Ripple. So they're both going to go together. Today, is it better diversification in many currencies or concentration in key cryptos like XRP and STR? Stellar Lumens. Yes, thank you, Gandhi. Angelo, I'm kind of torn on that. I like to believe that I'm going to be concentrating more of my money in these two specific markets. I am going to focus more of my money on them. But at the same time, I have an intentional, very diversified portfolio over on Binance that I took $1,000 and I put $50 into each coin. And so I've got, I don't know, how many coins over there? 20 different coins. And I've got them all set up with the popcorn sell strategy. And there's nothing for me to do with them. I just leave them now. Just leave them. So you could take some of your money and diversify it, and some of your money and concentrate it. And if you're concentrating, for these ones, you could print it out onto a paper wallet, put that paper wallet into your safety deposit box in your bank, and just don't do anything with them. Really sit on them. If in January of 2011 you had done that with Bitcoin, there was nothing for you to do. You didn't have to try to jump in and out and get panicked about any move up and you know, nothing. Just nothing. You could have just sat there this whole time, and you would still have $2.5 million. You would have had 5 million, I think, at the top, a little bit more than that. But even if it came back just to 2.5 million, you know, it's the same thing with these currencies. Buy and put it away. And of course, I can't tell the future. I really don't know what is actually coming. Those are just my thoughts, and it's what I'm actually doing. I take all of this very seriously. I take it just crazy seriously, and I really try to embody in my own trading action exactly what I'm talking about here. This is my practice ground, and I really try to walk my talk. So now I'm going to continue moving on the list. That's the wrong list. We're looking at BNT. This is Bancor, and this is another place where you can be switching from one crypto to another, and I think it's going to do very well. But it's not a buy signal yet. It is still just neutral. Now, BCH, I didn't do BCHABC, BCHSV, but BCH, we were talking about that earlier, and we had identified the head and shoulders top formation. There's the shoulder, there's the head, there's the other shoulder, and before the prices broke, I said if they break down below this, that's our sell signal, it's our get out signal. No matter what the moving averages are doing, we've got this clear chart pattern shaping up here, and so that is definitely an exit point there. And of course, you can also see inside this head of the head and shoulders top formation is the 1, 2, 3 top. Right there, 1, 2, 3, that broke and makes another number 2 point, another number 3 point, and then the final break right there. And this is another little head and shoulders top formation, really. If we're zoomed into it and we can see there's the shoulder, there's the head, there's the other shoulder. It's just classic, beautiful, beautiful technical analysis pattern that shaped up here. And it's good to be noticing them. And before we go away from this, look at that. Look at that. Can you say screaming divergence right there? While the top is shaping up, all of this is showing us. So if you are zooming in on this and you're watching everything go up like crazy on these big blast offs, this is what you're watching for at the top, this kind of top formation, and it'll be in a small time frame because it went up so quickly that you have to look in a small time frame to actually see when that top is. So this is a great example. I really like pulling all that stuff out and showing it. And then looking at the 12-hour bar, we had our moving average crossover, and there's still nothing to do. You don't need to get out of this trade yet. It's not done its trend. And I don't know if it's going to continue on or not, or just crash right back down, and then our moving averages cross over, and it turns out to be a pathetic trade profit. Those are some of the ways to split this, different ways to approach it. One is to sit back and wait for that big long trend. The other is to move right up tight when we see a big fast move like that. Get right up close, right up tight, watch for these divergences, and take your money when the profit's best. And it's a matter of personality. It's a matter of the amount of time that you have to trade that specific market. But great example. So in the simple trading plan, we're waiting for the 12-hour bar moving average crossover. So that was a buy signal, and it stays a buy signal. We don't get out of that one yet. Even the 4-hour bars haven't crossed over yet. So I don't know what's coming in the future, but we'll see. And that's the beauty of doing this study, is that we are seeing step by step, day by day, with persistence, hard work, and dedication. You know, that's what a PhD is. If you're going to get your PhD from a university, it doesn't take brains. It takes little brains, but it takes a lot more persistence, hard work, and dedication. And that's the main thing of it. So this I'm going to leave marked as an alert because I think it is going to have some move to it. Just my gut feeling. And then Bitcoin, we've got a Bitfinex, and we go back to the 3-month view. We're still seeing the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up. It hasn't broken either way. It's just a neutral, not even an alert anymore. It's back down to neutral. BitShares on Poloniex, I bought 1,300 of them, 1,300, right here. As the prices were pushing and looking like they're going up, and down it came. I'm still holding them in my own trade, even though I put this as a near fail and maybe even a fail. No, still just a near fail because it hasn't broken down below these levels. But it's taken some patience to deal with. But if you hadn't purchased into it, if I hadn't purchased into it, I wouldn't be purchasing in now. I'd be waiting. So what I was not a good trade because there's not even the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation confirmation there. That was way too early. And now I'm paying for it by having to be patient with it. So we got 18 people watching now, which is good. I'm glad to see more people are in. Before I go on any further, where in the world are you guys from? Put it in the chat box. Let me know, where are you from? Are you from Canada? Are you from the United States? Are you in my time zone? Are you from across the world? Do we have any people from Korea here? Any people from Brazil? Any people from England, Australia, Chile? Put it in the chat box. Let me know where you're from. From the UK, Joseph, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I haven't traveled to Europe yet, but Rick, hey, first time I've seen you. Sel, great to see you here too. I think this is the first time we've been chatting together. So Rick, welcome aboard. And Sel, Turkmenistan. Wow, I don't even know that place. Romania, from Boris. Please welcome to UK. Indeed. I'm from Canada, and I'm super keen. And Don, he's from Alberta. I see he's chatting in our Discord chat. And Southeast, let me know if you come to Southeastern Europe. Yes, indeed. When these cryptos pay off as well as they did last time, I will be traveling around. I will definitely be making my rounds of Europe and starting to see what the world is out there. I did spend 12 weeks in Brazil last winter, and I really enjoyed that. Minnesota, you've got similar weather to us here, Brian, but much better highways, I must say. Minnesota's got great highways. Burst, it's doing something. It's coming off this flat bottom. So last time it was marked as a near fail, but now it's upgraded to neutral. I like to see that. That's awesome. What are you studied at university? Dan is currently in Colombia. Sel, I have a Bachelor of Science degree with a major in zoology and a double minor in botany and chemistry. And I never did a day of work in the field. Clams next. India. AOL Chandra, I want to come to India and do yoga at the source. I've got a friend of mine who went to India and did Ashtanga yoga there for a month intensive. He's awesome. I've got another friend who's from Punjabi here that hang out with regularly. He's a great guy. Really love it. Last time we were looking at this, we were looking at potential for a cup with handle formation. And if it takes off from here, this will be a confirmed cup with handle formation, which is not the same. All you people speak English? Yeah, so everybody's here is balls deep in Ripple and Lumens. Welcome to Berlin. Hey, yes. Sprachen Sie Deutsch? Nein, das glaube ich nicht. I don't speak any, just a few phrases. Just enough to get my face slapped. What are we looking at here? Clam. So Clam is not a buy signal, but it's not a fail anymore. Civic Coin. Civic Coin was a buy signal and it's floating along. It's still a buy signal, but it has come back a little bit. And then, you know, for my own trading, I'm not flinching on this at all. I believe in this project. I believe in these big candles to the upside, and I'm just gonna sit it out and wait. So it remains a buy signal, and I'll update that in the second spreadsheet here to later. I'll put in what is the actual price of Civic Coin. Civic, what? I don't have it marked as a trade. So there's one that I missed. I have to go back and put Civic in there as the entry date and the entry price. Oh yes, I will. And I would love to come to India. I love East Indian food. Just crazy about it. Yeah, you remember Vinny saying when Bitcoin would get to $2,000 back in the day. I remember making some of those predictions too, thinking I was crazy to think it was going to go that high. XLM is the same as STR, yeah. Poloniex is the only exchange that refers to stellar lumens as STR. And I don't know why. It's silly. From Chile, currently living in Australia, down under. My nephew is in Australia and loves it there. He's become an Australian citizen. He's a Canadian who became an Australian citizen. I thought Canada was like the best country in the world to live in. But I think many people think their country is the best one to live in. Dash is making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and maturing a little bit here, but just neutral. I'll leave it as neutral for now. There is one other strategy I talk about in more detail inside the book for you guys who have purchased that, and it's called the springboard trading strategy. Australia is nice, but I just hate all the Australians. They have that funny accent. Decreed, this was a buy signal, and I kept it as a buy signal all the way through here. But look at this, the moving averages have crossed over, and I'm going to leave it as a buy signal. I'm probably going to get my hand slapped for that. But I think it's just a normal retrace, and I'm going to put that asterisk in this chart here. I see what that asterisk is for. Digibyte. All likely, next Coinbase listings are up today. People are taking the opportunity to buy XLM, MKR, and ADA mainly. I'm wanting MadeSafe coin to be listed on Binance. That would make my day. That would be phenomenal. So I think that Decreed is going to be going crazy again as well. Look what it's done in the past. It did some just massive moves, and so I'm anticipating that. I don't think that this little pullback here is enough to shake me out. Even though it is crossing over the moving averages there, I'm going to leave the trade on in our books. This one's been delisted, so let's go on to BitShares. I thought I did this one already. Where's my spreadsheet? Yeah, we're on to Digibyte now. Digibyte is a real disappointment for me. I was looking at this chart pattern much the same I was looking at Lumens Stellar, in that it had this massive triangle formation shaping up. It was higher lows, it was so exciting, and then just fading off. And just as steady as can be too. So if it breaks, I've already put it as a fail. I got to put it as a fail. It was a near fail last time, but that's just, it's got to be marked as a fail. It can turn around. It's got to make its own new bottom formation from here now though. But it's lower than the September lows. It's lower than the August lows. It's lower than the October lows. A real disappointment on that one. And Dogecoin was marked as a fail last time. Yep. It failed down below this support level here that we were looking at, hoping it was going to make an internal 1, 2, 3 bottom, but now it's got to make another new one, and it's going to take some time. It's got a little one here setting up, and it may go, but I like to have a little bit bigger bottom formations that take a couple weeks at least, and this one was nice from the middle of October till here, and then failed down more. So it remains marked as a fail on the spreadsheet. And then we're on to EOS, and I know that we've got to go over to Binance to look at that so that it has enough history in the chart. And we can see it's just floating along. It's not a fail, it's not a buy, but it is staying inside this massive isosceles triangle. So when it does go, it'll have momentum, and it's just time to do nothing. Next we have Ethereum Classic, and that was a fail, then a near fail, and then it turned into a neutral marking. Wow. So now we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in the works. If it picks up from here, that'll be good. That'll be a stable bottom off of this kind of stuff. But I'm going to mark it as a near fail because it's down so low. And Ethereum was marked as an alert. Marked as an alert because the moving averages were crossing. It didn't break above the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's making a nice triangle there. I will leave it as an alert still. Even though it's topped and it's come down like this, what are we seeing for our RSI? Let me clear all this. So we have higher highs and the RSI didn't agree. But other than that, it's not much of a strong divergence. Just floating along for now. I don't know what it'll do, but a break below this trend line would mean it's going to be going down further, and it wouldn't turn into a buy signal for us. So we're still waiting on it, even though the moving averages have crossed over, and I have high hopes for it. It's nothing yet that we can take action on. So it'll remain as, I'll leave it remaining as an alert because sometimes it does some pretty fast moves and we don't want to miss out. Factum is next, and I know that it is not doing anything. This is a coin that I own and it's just laying along here flat, so it's neutral, not either way. Game credits last time was a fail. Still a fail, and an epic. It's down below these lows, so that's not good. I don't like seeing that because the more of those that we have, the more that the bear trend in all the cryptos is in danger. And if Bitcoin does a little dip down further from here, then we're going to see it. But it's good to know, it's good to have the data, and good to be aware of how close we are to the edge here. So this one's fading off to levels where I'm going to call it a near fail. I'm going to count that as a near fail so that it changes our graph and we start to see how that is stacking up. GNT is next. And oh, sorry, I just got distracted here from a note on our Discord chat, and someone has joined our chat and they're sending personal messages saying, can you help me with Bitcoin? I'll pay some percentage for help. And that's not good. Good thing his name is spelt with an X. I can find it quickly in the so I banned him. And moderators, the guys who are mods in our Discord there, feel free to ban people like that. CPC Tony, Snorkelpuss, and normally Dest is in there as well. Feel free to ban people who are talking shit like that. Kieran, I love doing this stuff. I'm kind of selfish. This is a lot for my own research because I really want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars out of this. Trolls be trolling. Yes, indeed, Oli. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And Gollum Network token. I'm going to have my computer running, earning this stuff, but it isn't right now. I don't think they're actually paying out yet. It was on beta last time I looked. Just as an observation, so that we can check this next time, it is making a 1, 2, 3 top formation. It is right along support and resistance levels. The moving averages are getting closer together, but it's not an exit signal yet. And this is stuff that we can do because this is hypothetical, this spreadsheet of green, yellow, orange, and all that stuff. We will I will go in and say, what would have happened if I had sold out when the 4-hour moving averages crossed over instead? Ooh, look at those millions of dollars of trades coming into Bitcoin. Insane. Let's zoom in on the 5-minute bars, and that's good. This is that makes my evening a little bit better right off the bat. Indeed, a little bit better. Oh, wow. Let's take a look at some more of these. So we're looking at Bitcoin taking off, Ethereum taking off, and Litecoin languishing behind. So this would be an opportunity if you were a quick trader to jump on some Litecoin because it will follow the others. Monetha charts, cryptois, cryptizotics. I see your name all the time there and I never try to pronounce it. But of course I'm speaking right now, so I'm trying to. Love to see that, those charts taking off. That's happy. Monetha is on a trend. It's just beginning. What is the letters for Monetha? Does anybody know what the call letters are for Monetha? Monetha. Anybody know what those are so I can type them in? I'll get that one later. Go Bitcoin. Now you're coming up above these levels that I was talking about at the very beginning of the stream. MTH. Let's go look for MTH. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Definitely a nice formation there. Really nice. And the pre-pump candles that were going on before this took off was just fair warning. There's our bottom formation, our moving averages that already crossed over. So anytime in here you could have been jumping in. And now that it's taken off, it's got a long ways to go. And it takes months for this stuff to play out. So once you have your position, just sit back. We're going to let it go up, let it come back down, let it stabilize out, let it do its thing, and then jump on with more. So this, you know, in hindsight, it's always easy to see where it would have been good to add on. But it's this kind of thing where it goes up, it pulls back and makes an internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and that's when you add on to the position. Adding on correctly is really key because sometimes you have a good profitable trade, you add on too soon, and then it goes against you, and your profitable trade turns into a small loss. So it's pretty tricky, and best to err on the side of patience because I think we're in for an upward trend that is going to be lasting for more than we saw from March to July of 2017. We're in for a much longer trend. And so patience is going to pay those people who sit. Hunter coin is the next one on the list. And it was marked as an alert last time. So it's coming up to its own little new 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. The moving averages are coming close together. Certainly a break above these levels so that it's passing old resistance, support and resistance levels. It would be a buy, but not yet. It's still an alert. It surprised me. I forgot that that was turned into an alert. And then KNC, we got to go back to Binance where there's enough data. KNC. It turned into a cold fish. It was a great buy. It took off. Hopefully a popcorn order would have sold out for you, and then it's pulled back. And it's pulled back to retesting old support and resistance levels. So if you were stout and firm of heart, this may not shake you out. But if you're prudent and you're risk adverse, then it would have shaken you out when this moving average crossed over here. And I'll be doing that data analysis so that I can give you the data on which one would have worked, which one would have been better, and we'll add them up. We will have the data. So anyway, it remains a cold fish according to the simple trading plan. And then we're on to library credits, which was an alert last time. We're on Poloniex, and then down to LBC. It stays an alert. It's making its own little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. I like the volume of trading going on, and then the volume drops off and a bit more volume here. No real divergence in the RSI to give us inside information. This is pretty much the same. It's no divergence. And then we have pretty much the same here, no divergence. So nothing, no information there. But the 1, 2, 3 bottom, the moving average crossover, the break of the downtrend line, the simple trading plan, it remains an alert. Loom, back to Binance to take a look at Loom, and because it's got enough data. And this was a buy signal, and then it turned into a cold fish. And I would say, for my own part, I'm a little bit more patient. I will hold when we're in this kind of overall market condition, and we're making these retests of former, I would hold. But according to the simple trading plan, that moving average crossed over, and it's a cold fish. And again, we'll find this out afterwards. We'll see if you had held down to the number 3 point, if you had held to the number 2 point, if you had held to what would have been the result afterwards. We'll have that data. We'll really know this stuff well. Oops. Poloniex. And the next market we have here is Lisk and then Litecoin. Lisk is just floating along there. Nothing to talk about here. Maybe a near fail on the charts, actually. I better mark that in there, because I want to know if it's pessimistic. I want to know. I don't want to be fooling myself. Look at this. $1.2 million long, $1.5 million long. So that is phenomenal. Really, I can't wait to look at all the charts when this is happening. Oh, here's Litecoin. So in our 12-hour view, it wasn't a buy signal. It was just a watch. And it came up to be an alert when it came up here. Then it was back down to just being a watch. It's not a near fail. It's not an alert. Even though it's come back this far, it's not come back far enough to be considered a near fail. It's still in the middle. So that's awesome. We just leave it as neutral from the way it is. Now, MadeSafe coin was actually a buy signal last time we looked at it. 3-month view. And I gave it a buy signal because it broke above these levels. And it's still hovering there. And this is a different chart that is, instead of the data from Poloniex, this is the data from CoinMarketCap, which is an average of 3 different exchanges. I love MadeSafe coin too. I gotta say, I've been a MadeSafe coin lover since I learned about it, because I really believe in the technology they're going to put together. And I probably lost the most money trading MadeSafe coin because I believed in it. I did not listen to my trading signals. I overrode them with my belief, and cost me. It cost me. Let me see if I can scroll down there. So let's go to the 1-year view. This is the supply, the coin supply of MadeSafe coin. Pretty nice and steady. There's no increase of supply. There's no new ones being minted. It's just staying there. I don't understand how they do their supply, but it's nice and steady. So I kind of like that. And I really believe in the technology. When they launch that network, that coin is going to go 10 times. And I've been saying that for years. And I was saying it and not paying attention to this top formation when it broke the trend line and was showing divergence in the RSI, especially when we get to look at this area here, it was almost level and the RSI was fading off. And I held it. I held, boom. Ouch. So now I'm really wanting it to go back up because I've got enough of it that'll make a big difference in my portfolio. But that was a really good lesson, and it's one that I don't want to repeat. This is one that I want to learn from, and I want to do differently when the next time prices are coming up and they're making these tops and we see the divergence of the RSI and it's breaking the trend line. I'm going to listen to the technical analysis more than my thoughts about the project. Who are these buyers doing these big trades? Actually, many of them on the side here, we see this BitMEX. If I take $1,000 and I do 100 times leverage, it shows up here as a $100,000 trade. So if I'm taking $10,000 and I do 100 times leverage, it's turning out to be $1 million trade there. Listening in from London, midnight here, but I'm an Aussie originally. Australia. Cootie's got a little inside news on MadeSafe coin. The current tokens will buy 100 or 1,000 of main chain coins once they release. I thought they were going to do a one-to-one MadeSafe coin for the Safe Network coin. And I'm super keen to be farming when that comes up in MadeSafe as well. I've got a stack of hard drives here that are doing nothing. And when that comes up, I'm in there. Normally I find it hard to sell out, but I sold bad at 5,600. High five, Oli. You must be psychic. Yes, now you can buy back your position for just a fly on the wall, told me. Yeah, okay, Cootie. Oh no, look at that poor short there, liquidated. There's another poor short liquidated. $1.5 million short liquidated. Let me print screen. Oh yeah, I collect these screenshots. Especially short liquidations. Gotta save this. November 11th, liquidation number. This is the 6th screenshot of liquidations today. So first there was a bunch of long, there's another short liquidated, $571,000. There's another one, $283,000. Oh wow, that is terrible actually. I should not take glee in people getting liquidated. That is demoralizing, it's expensive, it is crazy, but look at the price go. Happy dance. That's going to make everything blast. This is really fantastic. Really. I'm excited. Go Litecoin. Come on now. Look at you languishing behind everything else. Bitcoin is already up. Like this should be at 8,300 instead of 79. Very good. Now, back to the study. Back to the study. Going slow here. So MadeSafe coin is still a buy. Mana was a buy signal. And I'm going to go to Binance and go down to Mana. It was a buy signal earlier. Go back to the 3-month view. So we see our moving average. Really nice, easy buy. Took right off. Fantastic. Nothing to do. Just sit back and eat your popcorn. Market is a buy signal. Navcoin was a buy signal. Do I have it handy? Yeah, I'll just take a look at this closer. It was a buy signal a while ago. I was looking for the add-on and it's just been sort of languishing sideways. So the add-on is an art form in itself, but this remains a buy in our signal. Hardware wallet versus a paper wallet. If you're going to do a paper wallet, you have to be sure that there's no bug on your computer. There's a paper wallet printer thing that you can download, and it will make the paper wallet on your browser without broadcasting it to the internet. So you download this thing, you unconnect from the internet, open up this program, print out your wallet, and then put that, scan your public code, your public key, and then fold it up and put it in the safety deposit box in the bank. Bitaddress.org. Thank you, Cootie. And this is what I did: is I printed out as many different hardware wallet or paper wallets as I could for everything. Just if I didn't have any of the coin, I printed them all out. I made a list of all those things and I put them in the safety deposit box in the bank, and there's no other place in the world that has those private keys. It's going to take a quantum computer to hack it. And then I can just deposit to those wallets anytime I want, because I have the public key, and I make deposits. And those, some of that, like you're asking about, should I keep my money on the exchanges? A percentage of mine is not on the exchanges, but most of it is. Namecoin. This was a fail last time, and it's kind of redeemed itself. Oh, it is up to neutral. So it's got to make its own 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I wouldn't call it a buy signal. I won't call it a buy signal until it breaks above this former support that now would be resistance as it's coming up. But the moving averages are coming close together. It's building up. I love it. And Namecoin fooled me last time back in March of 2017. I was poo-hooing it, saying, nah, I'm not going to do anything with it. There's no point to the coin. It doesn't have any use. And then look what it did. Right after I was poo-hooing it and saying no, 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 and even though it came down to these lows right there just before it took off, we zoom in on this, I was saying, it's nothing, look at this, big down candles, and then off it took off, right from this down candle, and it did a big blast popcorn move, and off it went. This is what I'm expecting, and this is why I'm not selling out of some of these coins that right now are in this bottom formation, and they're fading off where they're turning into near fails or fails. Some of them I'm holding, and I may be wrong, but I'll pay if I'm wrong. And that's just the deal. That's the game. OMG. Building up, but still not a buy, not a near fail, just sort of neutral. Omni, last time it was neutral. Last time it was neutral, but it's coming close to being an alert all of a sudden. Not yet though. Pretty close. You can also make private keys with dice. Pascal. So this was a buy. It's still a nice comfortable buy, but it was a little bit of a different buy because we had bought into it here, and then we got out of it there, and then we bought back into it here using this smaller 1, 2, 3 bottom formation as our buy-in. So this could have been a buy, hold, and then add on here as well. But I'll have to check that in the winning trades thing for Pascal. Is that what we're looking at again? Yes. So it was an unrealized profit of 20%, but I don't think I am doing that correctly. When I bring this back, yeah, I didn't put in this original buy, and I'll have to do that. And anyway, it's still a buy. It still hold that green color. Then we're on to PPC coin. Drag this up out of the way. And I didn't share a link to the spreadsheet, did I? Because I see there's not as many people in there watching that spreadsheet as I'm updating it. I don't have it handy, but I know it's in the description down below the video where there's a link to the spreadsheet. You can click on it, takes you over to the spreadsheet. You can follow along with it. PPC coin. This was a buy signal as this cracked off higher, and a shocking surprise to me, actually. But it remains a buy. If we had bought in at that time, there's nothing to do. Quantum, do we have enough data here? It was a buy signal earlier as it came out of this area, and it's still holding as a buy. The moving averages haven't crossed over. Lots of Bitcoin paper wallet websites. Which one is the best and the safest website? Please create a video on your YouTube channel. Good idea. There's World Sports Games. Make sure that it's one that is a client-side generated wallet. It doesn't go across the internet. You can actually unplug your computer from the internet and generate a new wallet. Make sure that that is the thing that is you see as a feature in there, so that you're not connected to the internet at all when you're creating that wallet. Rep remains a buy. This came down to new lows and gave us a nice buy signal. It's pulled back a bit, but all good. And SBD, I think I'm going to give up on this one. This is supposed to be a stable coin. It's supposed to stay at $1. And one of the guys in the chat last time, or in our Discord chat, brought this up where we said Steam dollars supply. And you can see how the supply is massively increased as they're trying to keep the price stable with the US dollar. So as the supply of this changes according to whatever they need to keep the coin stable. So this isn't something I'm going to be recommending at all anymore. Even though it's done some crazy moves, you can see they'll just pump the supply to get that back to nothing, back to flat. So I'm going to leave it as unlisted sort of. Saya coin, even though I said this is a cold fish, I think it's still a cold fish. I think they're having fights within the developers. They have a disagreement about what they're doing. That's something I heard there. SNT. I remember Bitcoin E back in the day in 2013. I had no idea what it was, sadly. Remember Namecoin, PPC, and Litecoin back then? Yeah, they were big. Bitcoin going from 100 to 1,000 was really quite a show. Yes, indeed. Please share the latest Google spreadsheet link. I do believe it's below the video in the description. If you click on see more in the description, here it is. I can just copy and paste it. Ta-da. Then you can click on that Google short link and that'll take you right to the spreadsheet. Feel free to share that with people. This is open and free information, and I want people to benefit from this. There's plenty enough money in all of these cryptocurrencies for all of us to make wads of money. WOM. This was a buy signal, but it's come back to being retesting these levels. So it was a buy signal, and this would be a tough one because it was breaking above the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. The moving averages were crossing over, and then it's pulled back. So it's another one of the reasons that when in this trade system, we're starting off with a part of our trade. We're only allocating half of what we're actually going to put into the full trade. Maybe, and I'll do the data, is to say 20, 50, 30 instead of 50, 30, 20. And we will see how that plays out over time. We'll have the data. We'll be able to change the spreadsheet and say, what if we had allocated our money differently? How would that have changed our profits? So this one, I would be holding it because of where we are in all of these markets and where this is compared to where it's been. That little pullback is not enough to shake me out. I would be plenty happy to be holding it when it's coming back here. I'd be not happy, but I'd be holding it when it came back here personally. So that's my own risk control philosophy, my own tolerance for risk rather. Because my risk control philosophy, if I'm nervous about this and I'm putting on say a leverage trade, I'll be out of it within 30 to 45 minutes if it doesn't prove me correct. I wait for everything to line up, and then if it doesn't prove me correct, right away, I'm taking that trade off. So I'll leave SNT marked as a buy, and that may be not fair because I'm putting my own risk tolerance into that. Steam, nothing going on here. And they're having a conference right now. Somewhere in a beautiful place in Poland, I saw. So it stays neutral. Storage. And I publish on Steam. I like it. Storage is a buy, and it's just that's it. Just a buy, and we're still holding. I think this is going to go way up. They've got a revenue stream. They're going to make money hand over fist. They've got big partners like FileZilla, so people can be using that FTP program to upload things into the storage cloud. And my hard drives will be rented out for that as well, because I want to earn that token. And I've got that so that it earns directly to the wallet in the safety deposit box in my bank. STR was a buy signal for quite a while ago, so this is going to turn into a very nice profitable trade in our spreadsheet. Strat. The Saya team is strong, another great project. I hope so, but then they're similar to storage in that they're a cloud-based data storage center that's going to be competing with Amazon and Google, who make billions of dollars storing data. And Apple, like at the Apple Cloud, everybody who has an iPhone has to pay out of their nose. What are we looking at here? Strat has actually come back and crossed over. But again, I'm not going to mark it as a get out signal. And it really is another one that would have been a piss off, actually, because it took off above the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. The moving averages crossed over. We're supposed to filter out these kind of things by using these three conditions together. And it still came back this much. So from 27 down to 22. But compared to where it's been, that is nothing. And for me, it wouldn't shake me out. This little crossover right there. I wouldn't be shaken out down here either. So I'm going to leave it marked as green, and I know I'm pushing the envelope of what the system is, the simple trading plan. Because you got to be brutal with it and plan your trade and trade your plan. And if you're starting to change your plan as you're going along, you generally lose money. Anyway, this one is neutral still. Viacoin. 22 people watching and only 11 likes. So if you really like the data that you're getting here and you'd like to share this with other people, I appreciate the thumbs up. It's the only fee I'm charging right now. Of course, you could leave a tip. There is an option to do that down below there. You could do the super chat. You could subscribe if you're not already, and you'll get credit on the screen. It'll flash up saying, dude, just subscribed. It's pretty cool, actually. And we're looking at Viacoin, which was a buy and remains a buy. Then we go to VTC, which was a near fail, and now it's an entire fail. Counterparty. It was a buy, and it's still holding on as a buy. It was getting close there, but still holds as a buy. And XEM. Looking great. Like this is getting more and more concentrated in this triangle formation. And from where it was to where it's been, and now where it is again, it's a great project, good technology. It's got a different angle on things for, not for staking, but for if you use the currency a lot, you benefit. So it's got a use incentive built into it. XMR. BTC 6417 XMR. It was a buy signal, and it came back just to like piss off everybody who's bought it out of this bottom formation right there. right? There's the 1, 2, 3 bottom we were counting on. There's the moving average crossover we took as the buy, and then right back to it really would have tested your resolve to have held that. But the moving averages didn't cross over. So there's a few of them that have been a real struggle there. Right after the buy signal, then they retraced back. So this has been a fail for quite a while and remains fail, 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 fail. Ripple. This one we did really good on because we bought and then we added on to it, and it's jumped up and showing pressure. Showing pressure, and this is the interledger protocol. Ripple is the coin that is being used to move things around through the interledger protocol. The interledger protocol lets you move money from one place to another nearly instantly, and anything can be moved from one ledger to another. So from Facebook's ledger, their money accounting system, over to Pinterest money system, over to, everybody's ledger is going to be interoperable around the world across all different business sectors. Trillions of dollars a day are transacted. Trillions of dollars a day. And we are here at the beginning when this is costing 50 cents per coin. So pull out $10 and buy some of these coins. And in our trading system, we added on to this one, so we're going to make some serious profit off this, and I'm very happy about that. Even if it's just paper profits, this is almost as exciting as real profits. Zcash, let's zoom out to the 3-month view. It was a buy signal, holding pretty now. And the ZRX actually turned into a cold fish. It was a buy signal. It got listed on Coinbase and it's pulled all the way back. So watch for this bottom formation to shape up now again, and it'll be a time to re-enter it because it's another file storage system of sorts. But right now, for the simple trading plan, it's cold fish. And so it turned into a little bit of profit and it might not have been that much profit because on our buy-in day, I'm trying to do it as worst case scenario for us. I took the highest price on that day, on our buy-in day. And then on the sell-out day, I took the lowest price of that day. So even though we had a great signal here, it turned into a small loss because I sold out when that moving average crossed. And so other ones I'm not selling out when the moving average crossed. So you got to take this with a little bit of flexibility depending on your risk tolerance. So some of them I traded correctly according to the plan, and some of them I'm bending the rule a little bit at there, which I want to be cognizant of and bring to your awareness as well. All right, that brings us to the adding part. And I'm curious to see if this updates at the same time. Let's go through now. I'll start off from the bottom and we'll look add-ons to buy. We got one, just the one. And greens, we had 20 last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So an extra one turned green. And alerts, they're yellow. 1, 2, 3. Did I miss one? No. 4, only 4 alerts. So we're down on alerts. Neutrals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hey, Foxy Dexter, great to have you here. I appreciate. Since when are you doing these kind of streams? Damn it, I forgot my count. Let's go back. September the 24th, September the 9th. I did a big long playlist of these videos, and I broke it up, one video for every coin, back in the end of August, before the September the 11th, 12th lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. But I've been doing videos about Bitcoin trading since January of 2015. I think December 30th or something of 2014 was my very first video. 1, 2, gone cold. 3, 4. Near fails. 1, 2, 3, 4. And real fails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's see if I added them up properly. Yep. Now the last step is to, bring this over and change that edit chart AMMNO. And we'll watch this chart update in real time. I'm pointing at it with my finger, but I don't think you see that. All right, so red ticked up, blue ticked down, green ticked down. I want green to go up, 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 red to go down, 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 and I want blue to go down too. I want all those blues to turn into greens, which would be an alert or a buy signal. Now, no, this didn't update. Bummer. It's a different spreadsheet. It's not connected. You'll have to check into that. See if there's a way to do that. All right. So that, wow, you've been in the game for a long time. I have. Foxy Dexter. I started off in January of 2015. I had 0 Bitcoin, no way to buy any because I was out of the country and I couldn't verify my identity with an exchange where I could buy any. And so I started making videos and people gave me tips. They gave me a tip in Bitcoin. And when I had $15 worth of Bitcoin tips, I started trading. I opened up my first account on Bitfinex, and then later I opened up on Poloniex. And by May of 2015, I had traded and earned my way up to $500 worth of Bitcoin. Then by May of 2016, I had traded that up to $5,000. I had 10 times my money over that year. And then by May of 2017, I was well over $50,000. I hit $120,000 in July of 2017. And then that I traded up to about $530,000 by January 8th, I think was the peak of 2018. And fortunately, I cashed out wads of money at the right time. And I cashed out another bunch of money in May of this year. And so it's done me very well. Now I'm sitting on probably, I don't know, $15,000 to $20,000 US that I'm planning to be trading back up into crazy amounts of money. And very excited about it. That's why I'm doing so much work here. That's why I'm working my tail off, because I know I can take that 20K and I can turn it into 200K. I know it. And probably more than that if I'm really studious and I get out at the right time. I may be able to do better than that. So now let me take a look around here. Here's Ripple. Here's Stellar. MadeSafe coin. Come on now. You've got to go somewhere. And here's Factum holding flat on the ground. And bring this over. We can see Bitcoin as it's done its jump up here nicely. Ethereum went up nice, and Litecoin is still laying there. It went up a bit and it's pulled back. What's going on, Litecoin? And here's BitShares over here as well. What exchanges do I use these days? I have some money on Bitfinex. I have some money on Binance and Poloniex, Quadriga CX, Ethfinex, Bittrex, and simple FX. So I'm around in a few, but mostly Poloniex. Well, I spread it out onto many of these exchanges because each one has its own strategy. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Zoom in on this. That is so nice to see with a nice surge of volume. Love it. And all those short liquidations too, it's a killer for them, I know it. November 11th, liquidation number 6. There was a bunch of them that were long liquidations earlier this morning. Millions of dollars of long liquidations. And then later this afternoon, you get millions of dollars of short liquidations. And so having lots of money doesn't mean that you know how to trade. Having, you could be trading correctly with very little bits of money. In the summer of 2015, I was at a party and I was saying to a friend, I just turned 50 cents into $5. And he said to me, well, hey, now you can buy me a beer. And it's true, that's all it was, it's just enough for a beer. But for me, I had just 10 times my money. That was the main thing. I just took my money and grew it by 10 times. For me, it wasn't 50 cents into $5. For me, that was $1,000 into $10,000. That was $10,000 into $100,000. And I saw the scale in that, and I see it now in what's coming up for all of us as well. So my biggest wish is that you guys hit that thumbs up button. Let's get this rocking. Let's get more people watching this. Let's get more people making money off of this run in cryptocurrencies. And not just making the money on the way up. I want you to keep that money. I want you to sell out at the right time. And this is one of the biggest problems that people have, is they can't let go. It's the monkey in the rice in the coconut trick, where you put a hole in a piece of coconut and you put rice inside that hole. The monkey can just get his hand in through the hole. Then when he grabs a hold of the rice, his hand makes a fist, and he can't pull his hand out. So that coconut, the bad guys chain it to the ground, and the monkey puts his hand in, grabs the rice because he's hungry, and then he can't pull his hand out. And then the hunters are coming to get him, and he stands there. He can't let go of the rice. He can't change judgment about how important the rice is. He can't let go of the rice, pull his hand out, and run away. And the hunters come up and get him. And it's the same thing with cryptocurrency holders. You grab a hold of the cryptocurrency and you just can't, and I've been there, you just can't let go of it. And then it goes down in value and you're sitting there going, oh, man, really? And this happened to me more than once. So it could be the same with the people getting liquidated. They got this position and they're hoping that it doesn't keep going wrong against them. They're hoping, and hope is a beggar. Don't beg the markets. So here's one where I lost. I lost big bucks. I still holding the coin, but I had 2.5 Bitcoin worth of MadeSafe coin here. Now it was not worth 2.5 Bitcoin. So I'm really keen for this market to go back up because I want that value to come back. Alrighty, this has been a fantastic stream. Lots of fun to do this. I think this is 90 minutes long to go through everything because we were talking about all of the different markets on Poloniex, and we were going through this new way of tracking the trades and calculating our percentage winners and losers. And I'll be calculating the percentage of what's the average win, what's the average loss in dollar value. And then we'll start changing the allocations so we can see what would happen if I made this allocation differently. What would that do to our overall profit and loss? What if I said that I could do 50% of my money in every one trade? Now I'm up to some bigger money. Of course, I can't do all the trades I'm imagining because I could only do 2 trades. But for risk control rules, we are implementing these different details so that we can learn which is the best over the long term and really prove it out. I've already done all this for years. Literally, for more than 2 decades, I've been studying this with as much craziness because I knew I wanted to make my money work for me. Now, my money is working for me, and I'm working for you so that you can have your money working for you as well. Now, I'm going to wrap it up, sign off. Thank you guys for being here. High five. Thanks for all the conversation back and forth and the questions. I learned tons from the questions. And that's it for today. Good luck in all of your cryptocurrency trading. Let's see a whole bunch of green overnight until the next stream. Bye for now.